It's a pleasure to be with you and introduce this information to all of our great CAM board members. It's my pleasure to turn the time over to Maegan Woytek, who is our fantastic rep with Vantaca. Vantaca is our financial and homeowner database system, and it has so many great components that there's literally hundreds of hours of video that you'll have access to as board members. But I'm going to give it to Maegan here, and she's going to give us the Cliff Note version, 15 to 20 minutes of some of the highlights of why CAM switching over to the Vantaca platform is going to be what an incredible benefit to all of you, our CAM board members, and the homeowners in your communities. Thanks for joining us, Maegan.
Thank you, Michael. I am so excited to show the portal. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I love this portal specifically for board members because it offers so much transparency into what is going on with your communities. I'm going to show you a little bit on the homeowner side as well, because you are first and foremost homeowners, and then you are volunteers on your board. So I shared my screen. And what you're able to see here, I'm logged in as one of our past presidents, John Adams. He is a homeowner and a board member. So something to keep in mind here with the portal space is that you will notice there's some flexibility in here with how it's going to appear. And the management company can help you set that up a little bit. And it's specific to this little logo in the top right-hand corner, or left-hand corner if you know your directions like I do. So top left-hand corner, you can put the association's logo there to make it a familiar space for the homeowners. So just starting down the list on this dashboard, since I am logged in as John, this is giving a snapshot of what is going on with his specific account. So as a homeowner, you can see what your balance is, any of your board tasks, since you are board members as well. And then you can also see any open issues on your personal homeowner account. So if you had a work order request or a violation letter, though I'm sure board members don't have violation letters on their accounts.
Never.
So moving down, contact information, just a quick piece of that. You can update your own contact information, which is wonderful. So phone numbers, email addresses, things like that.
So a lot of our St. George clients are sunbirds, and they go live someplace different during the summertime. So all they'd have to do, whatever day that is, they wouldn't have to call in or email in. They just log into their portal and put the new information.
That's exactly right. So if you did have a different primary address in the winter versus the summer months, you can definitely update that right within the portal space, which is awesome. For billing, we did try to make this as simple as possible. I know you're working with another great partner, CIT. I think you're moving that direction, and choose any of these payment options. It will log you into that secondary payment space. So you don't have to remember a whole bunch of different logins for all of these different areas. So simplicity is key.
And we have had some of our board members ask, and they've heard about our switching of banks to CIT also. And as always, board members, banking is your choice. But all these fantastic integrations that Maegan is highlighting are only available if you use an HOA bank like CIT. So we encourage you, after you finish watching this video, to go watch the CIT video, which will tell you several of the great benefits that they as a bank offer your association. Thanks. Sorry, Maegan.
No, you're okay. You'll love those bankers. They're characters. They're wonderful. They love this industry, and you'll probably get very close to them as well. So as a homeowner, you will have the flexibility. I know, we can get forgetful sometimes. We can lose statements, coupons, anything like that. So you will have the ability to see your ledger, and you can download your own statement in here, which is lovely. So you don't have to, self-administration is really helpful. My items gives you access to any of those items that are going on your account, and you'll be able to communicate directly to the management company through this portal. So in this case, I do have a service request, and my fake management company is not CAM, and I'm not doing very good at managing my database, but my work order is not completed yet. So I wanted to know what was going on with it. So I sent a message back to my assistant manager. We do have flexibility for calendars and events. So you can come in and view anything that is going on in the community. We've got a homeowner directory. Association documents is actually very, very useful, not only for the homeowner side, but for the board side. You will have the ability to see any of the association documents. So maybe if you want to go in and grab the CC&Rs really quick, you can see all of that from here. Now, where being a board member comes in handy here is that your financial packages will push automatically to this space. So you don't have to go back and, you know, find an email or anything like that with the attached financial package. It's going to automatically store here. It can come in an email as well, though.
Yeah, they'll see the board documents because they're logged in as a board member, which is, it's not a separate login. It's just one login. We tell the system they're on the board, and other homeowners wouldn't see some of those sensitive documents.
Exactly. Yes. There are control measures in place to make sure that sensitive association information is only available to the board members. Now I'm going to get to the really fun part, though. This is what you guys all care about. This is your board area of the portal. And I just expanded on that board actions, and it's like a fun little surprise when that arrow expands. So you can see all of the things that you are going to have access to. So it is incredibly, incredibly powerful. I don't need to go into every single one of these, just know that they really mimic across the board. So architectural requests, let's just start there and you'll understand where all of the rest of them lie. With any of the architecturals, if your community has those, and maybe you're responsible for approvals, or maybe you're just a reviewer, anything like that, you can come in here, you can click that little eyeball. This is an ongoing moving list. You'll be able to review that request, any attachments. Again, you can send messages. All that good stuff is available right at your fingertips as a board member. And that is the same with collections, with the violations, work orders, inspections. You can really be highly, highly involved in your community, and the communication piece is key here.
And each one of these, correct, each one of these is, when they go to send to, they can have a message, a thread just between, this has assistant manager, the manager, but they could also send just to the other ARC members, and it doesn't include the homeowner who's making the application. They could send it to the manager to ask a question that the homeowner doesn't see. And then when they get all of it wrapped up in discussion and they get their final decision, then that's what would go to the homeowner, and that's all the homeowner would see when they logged in, correct?
That is correct. As a board member, the information that you're sending back to the management is going to be considered sensitive information. So your homeowners are not seeing that communication that you have with each other as board or committee members, and they're not seeing the communication that you have with the management company. That is exactly right. This is a really fun one for me to show, this homeowners area, because I do know a lot of you like to know exactly what's going on. Especially, I love my treasurers. Treasurers want to see all of the detail. So there's a lot of fun stuff in here for you. This is a homeowner listing. So you are able to see all of the homeowners within the community. If you drill into any of these homeowner accounts, I think my friend Grover Cleveland has some good stuff. You're able to see all of their action items that are happening on their account. And then you can go to transactions, and you have the flexibility to see all of that homeowner's ledger. So it gives you a great amount of information. And you can really, again, do some self-administering and answer some of your own questions that you may have.
So if I'm the homeowner and logged in just as a homeowner, I'm only going to see my transaction information. I'm not going to see anyone else. And in the homeowner directory above on the left side, I have to opt in for my information to be available to the rest of the community. It's just
That's
not
exactly
automatically available. So if people don't want their address or their name or phone number, that's just something that the system will ask them when they're setting up the first time.
That is exactly right. And that's actually available in my contact info. See, I'm going to click on it anyway. I said I was going to skip it. But these are your directory preferences. So you can kind of pick and choose what's shown or hidden. There are your communication preferences. And then these are all of my fun fake email addresses and phone numbers. I'm not very creative. I keep entering the same one over.
So what you're saying is I can opt out of any paper mailings from the association and everything would come via email.
That is correct.
That's awesome.
So back to your board member side, I do want to touch on the invoices because you'll have that flexibility to approve the invoices. I want to show you what the approval looks like. So if I am an approver and I click on that eyeball, I will be able to see the GL account, any messages associated with that, copies of invoices, and there are my approve or decline options. And that information is going to be sent directly back to the management company. So no transporting of invoices to meetings, and especially checks. I think that's another just security measure.
If I decline it, does it remind me, does it pop up a pop-up box so I can put a little reason why I'm declining it? Yes, it
absolutely does.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Yeah, I think that's important because it might be just a simple, as a board member or as a treasurer, just want a little different description to show up on the memos. Either I think we can give them the ability to make a quick change on a description, but generally we want that go back to the management company because typically you want all future invoices from this vendor to be done the same way. So I decline it, I put the note, the management company changes it, and then they remember for the future.
Exactly. You got it. So I'm going to skip down here a little bit to a couple of new areas that we've recently added to the portal space, and that is the reporting and the bank accounts. So with your reports, I have a ton turned on here. You may not need every single report in here, but we are giving you the flexibility to run any of your reports at any given time. So you don't have to reach out to the management company and wait for that report to be sent to you. So if you wanted to get wild and you wanted to see an AR aging right this very moment, you can hit that view option. It'll populate in this secondary window and you've got your AR aging right there. And this is actually fun too, because you're able to see just a very quick teaser of what some of our reports look like. Our reports are drillable.
We like this report because, and this there's a million different fees that have been set up for this demo. There's typically not that many in an association.
No, it'll never be this messy.
But you can see how out of, say your association has $10,000 in past due fees, you could see that there was a special assessment maybe last month that made up 8,300 of that. And really the regular monthly assessment is only $1,200 of that total. And then you have $600-700 in late fees and interest. And it would all be broken up here on the left and then in the pie chart.
That's exactly right. And then even cooler with this report, it is drillable. So if you're wanting to know who those 33 homeowners are, you can click into it and it'll just show you those 33 homeowners.
And I'll tell all the folks that are watching that we take changing our database very seriously. It's generally about a 2.5 year process from us from the time we start investigating new software to the time where we implement it in. The HOALiving company switched over to Vantaca November 1st of 2019 after a couple of years of research. And this ability to drill down, to be in anything, anywhere in Vantaca and click on things and get more information. Those folks who've used QuickBooks or Quicken, those kind of products are used to that kind of interaction with their financial software. And so there really was no other competitors to Vantaca that offered that kind of a service. to be able to get deep in there and to allow board members and homeowners to do it themselves instead of just us as the management. And so Vantaca, obviously it's who we're using and it's who we're going to promote, but they're seriously the top of the game, which is the reason the technology and the transparency, the information you can get, is the reason that we chose the Vantaca team.
That's right. Hey, I feel special. Now, I will say the last thing, this is kind of like the cherry on top, especially with transparency. And this is where that bank CIT comes into play, the integrated bank. You will have the ability to have read-only access to your bank account. So if you did want to know what was going on, you could come in here to your Rich Uncle Moneybags account, and you would be able to see anything that was going on, just like online banking. So it's all available at your fingertips.
Yeah, so the bank and Vantaca talk to each other in real time. It's not a nightly download. If the bank is reporting it, Vantaca is reporting it. You, of course, can always log in directly to CIT and see that kind of information there. But basically, you can go into your bank register. A check was made. You can see there on this example on 9/16, check 1051 was written. You could click on there and you could, one, in the system, see the invoice. Elsewhere, you could see where the bank has actually paid it. You can see an image of what was paid. So that's unfortunately a type of fraud that some companies commit, or some people commit, is they write a real check, but then they change the payee. Well, through this system, that couldn't happen, because you would be able to see both sides of it. You'd be able to see the statement, see the image of the check that cleared, and be able to see the invoice that was paid, all just through a couple clicks of the button. Also, deposits that come in, you can see when those go directly into the bank in real time, when payments come in.
That's right. So that is a snapshot of the Vantaca portal, and really the workspace that you'll spend a good amount of time in as a homeowner and board member. And
Maegan flew out for our live demo a couple of weeks ago and met several of the board members. So we know a lot of people that are watching this video weren't able to attend in person, and we're grateful that you've taken the time today to watch this little demo. Any of the CAM management, any of the HOALiving management, and even anyone at Vantaca, if you've got, I know we've had a treasurer or two, not very many, that are very concerned about the security of the information and those kind of things, and it's very high level information. We have folks at Vantaca that are willing to talk to you about what they're doing to keep the information safe and secure. So anyone on the team can answer questions for you. If you have them, reach out to your manager and they'll get it to the right person. Maegan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. This is fun. I'm sad I didn't get to meet this group in person.
Well, next time.
But they're actually having a benefit. They're seeing a little bit more detail than not rush, and the internet worked so much better today. The internet is lovely. Yeah, the internet was actually, we were signed into it. That kind of makes a difference.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
You.